Hey there, Taurus. Welcome to your reading for August 2024. We're gonna jump right in here. You have this toxic triggers card. It says, find the strength to remove yourself from toxic influences in your life. You have this exploration card. It says, right now you need to search and explore. It's okay to wander until you find your home. So, there is a lot of exploring going on in general. Six of Swords right there. Travel, moving, thinking about moving, all that stuff pretty much comes up with the Six of Swords. I do feel, again, obviously this isn't going to resonate with all of you, but, if you are thinking about moving somewhere, that is kind of like saying, take your time, you will find a place. The other interesting thing is that you have the Two of Wands here, and the Two of Wands is one of my cards that kind of says, and you have this House card as well, can't make this stuff up, but, the Two of Wands kind of says to me that you need to go somewhere maybe you've never been before, so I don't know if that helps any of you, but, if maybe you're trying to, choose between two places that you want to live, and again, maybe you've lived in one of those places before. Two of Wands is one of my cards that says variety is the spice of life. He is standing where he has always been, but he has the whole world in his hands, and the card itself is about taking the lead and making progress, but he also needs to leave a comfort zone on the Two of Wands, and again, he has the whole world in his hands. It's like there's much more potential here. He's looking out here into the world. He's not looking at the world. So, again, I think that for those of you that are moving, there's a lot more potential, maybe somewhere you've never been before. You have the Six of Swords. What this first card said, find the strength to remove yourself from toxic influences. And the Six of Swords would represent moving away from toxic situations, people, influences, all those other things. You're clearly moving on to calmer shores. So again, I feel, this is just kind of talking about that. You also have the King of Swords. King of Swords is a card of discernment, and he wants us to use everything that we've learned in life to make decisions moving forward. And so if you have to make any important decisions, I think that this is about using your knowledge and wisdom. I also do feel it would be a good, I feel like today is the 21st, of course. So today is the day of the Capricorn full moon, but I would say for the next 6 weeks, the rest of July all the way through August, might be a good time for you to be more of a listener, for whatever reason. I feel here, Taurus, that he's really listening, and I think he's kind of withholding judgment. If I put myself in your shoes with this energy right now, I feel like this is kind of like saying, give yourself from now until, September before you make any decisions on anything. And, I guess that message kind of makes sense because we do have Mercury going retrograde, but I don't really feel it's talking about the retrograde. I feel this is more talking about, making a decision based off of discernment, but also listening. This could be in work or business or any other area of your life. It's kind of like the universe is almost saying, there's a lot of information that you're going to be gathering over the next 6 weeks, and it's going to help you make a wise choice or decision. And again, this doesn't have to be a move. It could be, pretty much anything. I do feel for a lot of you going this way, that it could have to do with your environment. So it definitely could have to do with a move. But it could also have to do with your finances or something that you will love, especially 3 aces right there. So, I would say, having said all that, it could just be a decision you're making about having a new beginning in any area of your life. You have the Nine of Pentacles. Nine of Pentacles is gratitude and luxury. It represents heaven on earth, or creating your own little slice of heaven on earth, which I think everybody should be doing right now anyway. But she is also a card of your environment. She has this little snail right here, and the snail wears its home on its back. So the Nine of Pentacles kind of represents your environment and the energy around you. I would make, and again, if you are thinking about moving, and this doesn't even have to be a move, this could be a work move, this could be a business move, or whatever, I would make sure that you are creating an environment of success. Probably, I would say maybe in 2021 or 2022, I can't remember which year it was, I can't find the readings, here's what happened, right, is that they weren't doing very well, and so I changed the titles on the videos, and now I can't find them, but, basically in 2021 or 2022, I did environment readings about your environment and what you need to change in your environment, and I've been trying to find them, but I did it because Libra kept getting Nine of Pentacles. Libra is kind of like your sister sign in a lot of ways because Libra is also ruled by Venus, but what I would say here is that I think that, since that time, everybody's environment is really important. I would do whatever you can to create an environment of success, obviously, with that Nine of Pentacles, meaning, the energy around you, the people, the places, the things that you surround yourself with, pretty much everything. But let's see here. What we have for you here, Taurus. With the Six of Swords, you have the Hierophant. You showing up in a very strong position also really helps with your decision making when you show up as yourself. So I kind of feel this is just saying that you're, kind of paying attention to your decision making. With the King of Swords, you have the Eight of Cups. Eight of Cups, again, personally, I like the Eight of Cups. I know it gets kind of like a little bit of a bad rap, but he's walking away from something that no longer serves him. So it's like, how bad can it be, right? To cut something out that no longer serves you. I really don't think it's that big of a deal. But the Eight of Cups is about walking away and kind of like walking towards, hopefully, fulfillment. I always say, we don't actually know that he is walking towards the Nine of Cups. You could say he's walking towards the Nine of Cups, but we don't actually know that. And so, hopefully you are walking towards a place of fulfillment, which, again, 3 aces right here looks pretty good to me. So I think a lot of you are walking towards fulfillment. With the Nine of Pentacles, you have the Nine of Pentacles. So plain and simple, the universe saying I meant what I said. Your environment is very important at this time. Next, in the area of what's coming in for you, you have the spirituality card. It says, use money magic spells to increase your wealth and prosperity. So great time for manifesting. You have a stability card. It says you will be stable and very prosperous. There you go. And it also says here, it says, make stability a top priority and commit yourself to consistency. So again, if you're moving somewhere, I think that moving somewhere where you have stability or you feel more stable, of course, would be a good idea. But a lot of you could be very focused on that, or you could be creating a more stable environment for yourself with that stability card. You have the Five of Pentacles, the two of Wands, and the Fool showing up here. Five of Pentacles is about feeling left out in the cold. Again, I think a lot of people are noticing their weaknesses at this time. And the Five of Pentacles says, don't call attention to your weaknesses. Five of Pentacles wants us to focus on our strengths. So I really feel it is a time where everyone needs to double down on the things that they're good at. The Five of Pentacles also says, right here, there is a church behind these people. The church represents a place of sanctuary for them, so they could easily go inside the church. I don't know what I just said, but whatever. We're going to move past it, right? I almost just said turd is what I think I almost just said about the church. But anyway, I think that for a lot of you, this is about saying that, again, if you are feeling lack mentality or if you're struggling financially, this other card said, use money magic spells to increase wealth and prosperity. So it might be a really good time for you to focus on using your powers of law of attraction or whatever you believe in. Even if you just believe in, taking action or, doing the work, then that's great too. I'm a big fan of action, obviously. So that's what I would do here. You have the Two of Wands. Again, variety is the spice of life. I would get out into the world and I would go have new experiences, especially for those of you that are moving. Again, you could have a choice between one place right here and another place over here. And so, this wand stands on its own. He's already kind of learned everything he can from this past wand. That wand kind of says something stands on its own. It's already been complete. But now this front wand is potentially a new experience that he could have. And then, boom, right here, we have one wand with the Ace of Wands. The Ace of Wands also says out with the old, in with the new. So I definitely feel new experiences are where it's at. Even if you do move somewhere where you've lived before, again, as long as you're having new experiences or, getting out, maybe you moved somewhere and you never really experienced it. Like maybe you stayed home all the time and you never went out, or maybe you never went and did things. This could say, create a new experience, even if it is very similar to something, that you've done before. But what I would say is that you have the Fool, you have 3 aces, you have so much stuff that is really kind of encouraging some sort of new beginning or a leap of faith that you could be taking at this time. And the Fool is definitely all about, having a new beginning or a fresh start. And that's pretty much just the energy I get off the Fool, is that you're having a fresh start or a new, kind of like a completely new start. With the Five of Pentacles, you have the Nine of Wands. Nine of Wands says don't give up on something at this time. I do feel like you need to keep pushing. We said this, like no big decisions, no rash decisions with that King of Swords, especially. He's like saying something to me. Again, he's like saying it's time to kind of gather information and don't make any quick judgments until like after the summer, maybe September or something like that. So I would really take your time. With the Two of Wands, you have the Queen of Pentacles. Yeah, I feel like there's new opportunities for you to be resourceful. It's like I've been saying since 2016 that I really see it as a time where, if you're going to move or something, try to move somewhere that's like cheaper but better, and maybe you get paid more money at your job. Again, I think there are, if you look, you're obviously going to have to do your research. It's not going to magically appear in front of you. But if you do your research, and you look for those, win-win-win type of scenarios in your life, you will find them. But again, it's not going to just magically appear in front of you. You're really going to have to do the work. But I would do the work because those win-win-wins exist. What do you know? With the Fool, wouldn't be a Taurus reading without the Queen of Cups, and also you have the Ace of Cups here. Both of these cards are very heart-based energies, and the Ace of Cups is about doing something that causes your heart to overflow. Doing something that you could do endlessly. I always say that, like with these tarot readings, it's like most mornings I start, I'm like tired, and by the end I'm like full of energy. So this like gives me energy when I do this, right? And the Ace of Cups reminds me of that. It says, do you have something in your life that fills you with energy? And if you don't, then it's time to explore with the Two of Wands. Two of Wands says it's time for exploration. You literally have this exploration card right here, and so I would get exploring or looking for something that kind of like aligns with your heart, or is more heart-based, or fills your heart with good energy. And again, all your readings have been about heart-based energy. Next, in the area of messages from your future self, you have this envelope card. It says unfolding surprise on it. And you also have this house. It says relocation and home on it. So like we said, definitely could be moving for some of you. I also feel that there could be some good news coming in for you with that envelope, or there could be a surprise. I kind of feel like it's a surprise new beginning because of the aces. Three aces pretty much all touching each other really represents, a big new beginning, something that has a lot of potential for growth with the Ace of Wands and the Ace of Pentacles, and probably something that will make your heart overflow. So I feel like there is a really just nice new beginning energy here. If you've moved on from anything in the past few weeks as well, the beginning of July, then I feel things, whatever you're moving on to, obviously looks very peaceful, very happy with the Ace of Cups. The Ace of Wands represents out with the old and with the new. So again, very passionate new beginning. You have the Ace of Cups on the bottom of your clarifying deck here as well. So there you go. But the Ace of Wands is a passionate new beginning. The Ace of Wands asks you to be brave as well. The Ace of Wands wants us to live a life of passion, but sometimes we have to be brave because we have to let go of something that was established in our life. This castle in the background is meant to look like it's crumbling. And so again, we have to be brave. The Ace of Wands is also only just a spark. It's like that initial spark of life, but we have to keep throwing wood on that fire and keep that fire going, and we have to grow the fire as well from that spark. So I feel for a lot of you, this is saying, keep moving towards your passions. That's how you build the fire. You have the Wheel of Fortune. Definitely could be a pleasant surprise with that unfolding surprise card. Wheel of Fortune would be a change in your fortunes as well. This might be kind of like one of those months that you remember over the next few years. July, into August could be a time where, in a couple years, you're going to look back and you're going to be like, oh my God, Chris was right back in 2024 in July when he said that I would remember that time. So you could be, it kind of gives me the vibes of, it's weird. I'm not really getting anything about Wheel of Fortune. It's like, sure, things are changing. Sure, your fortunes could be changing. But it's like more saying to me that you are making choices and decisions that are kind of like shaping your future, like right now. And that's why it's going to be a time that you will remember in the future. So pretty good stuff here for you so far, Taurus. I like it. With the Ace of Cups, you have the Two of Pentacles. Too much busyness. I think I said this to you in your last reading. If I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure it was you. I do feel too busy on this Two of Pentacles, so I kind of feel, again, that with the Ace of Cups, it's saying, are you spreading yourself too thin? Which, I'm pretty sure I said to you in your not your mid-monthly reading, but, the week of the 22nd of July. If you go back and watch that reading, I'm pretty sure it was very similar. So, again, I would make sure that you're not, burning yourself out. I would make sure you're doing things that are actually working, all that other good stuff here. With the Ace of Wands, you have the Ace of Wands. So we already have a bunch of repeating cards. Repeating cards are pretty much the universe saying I meant what I said. So the Ace of Wands says, build that fire. With the Wheel of Fortune, you have the Nine of Swords. Don't repeat a cycle, is what the Nine of Swords says. Nine of Swords and the Wheel of Fortune are both cards of cycles. And I feel like this could be saying that you, like I said, with the Two Wands, it's like you have an opportunity to do something from the past or to do something totally new. And I would do something new with, for sure, definitely. Not telling you what to do. I don't think tarot should tell you what to do, but I kind of feel that if this message is for you, you already feel it. I feel it's time for new for you, Taurus. And the Nine of Swords is a never-ending nightmare. It's like having a nightmare, waking up, and being stuck in a nightmare. So it's like maybe you lived somewhere before and you had a night and it was a nightmare. And this is saying like don't repeat a nightmare. I'll tell you what. Like 2 years ago or 3 years ago now, I ended up moving back to Seattle. And, so many weird things. Like, I had to fly out, obviously, to go find a place. I was living somewhere else at the time, and so I had to, fly out there and find a place. Before we flew out to a place, there was, all these issues because of COVID at the time with flying. And so my first flight out there ended up getting canceled. The second flight, also that we were supposed to be on, also was delayed. So there was, this issue. But I really wanted to, fly back out to Seattle at the time. And, so my brother and I were staying in this hotel at the airport the night before, and I felt super weird. There were a million kids there. There was some sort of party or something, and they were all being super loud, and I was kind of cranky because I was like, oh my God, I'm not going to be able to sleep, and all this other stuff. And so then the flight was canceled. I ended up going back home to where I was living because I had to wait till the next day to fly out. So then we go to fly out. That flight was delayed, but we ended up flying out. But I felt weird this whole entire time. We get in Seattle. It's one of the first things we see when we're driving down the road is a coyote, which is a warning to me, right? It was just one thing after another was telling me not to do it, right? And I did it anyway, and I'm sure there's a reason why I did it, although I just moved again because I had to get out of there. But the funny thing is that it's there were so many signs and so many things that happened that really that's just a few. I don't want to waste a bunch of your time telling my stories, but it's one of those things where looking back on it, I was like, God damn, there's so many things that told me not to do it and that I would have been happier somewhere else, right? And so again, I'm telling you that because I get that on the Nine of Swords. It's it doesn't even have to be a move. This could be a decision that you're making right now, and I feel there could just be a lot of things that are either a warning or kind of saying, don't go down that road, don't do that thing that you're thinking about doing. And again, I think that there's another path that's probably wide open for you. Next, in the area of the good stuff, you have this card that says you see clearly now, so I'm not even worried about it. You probably see these warning signs if there are any. You have this crow spirit that says co-create with spirit. The owl card always reminds me of the Queen of Swords, even though I'm not sure if that's her tarot equivalent or anything, but I feel that you finally see clearly the things that are going to fulfill you. I also feel that you are seeing what works together in your life. You have the Temperance card. The Temperance Angel is pouring those two cups together, and he is kind of trying to turn water into wine. It's called alchemy, but I do feel that you are noticing the things that mix well together in your life and the things that come together well for you in your life as well with the Temperance card. So I would pay attention to things that you're mixing together. This could be your relationships, your the people you work with, your environment. You have the Ace of Pentacles. Ace of Pentacles is an opportunity or a big opportunity coming in for you that has a lot of potential, a lot of financial growth as well, but it's definitely probably something new with the Ace of Pentacles. You have the Four of Pentacles, which I also like to see in the area of the good stuff, because the Four of Pentacles to me would say that you are, kind of letting go of all the old ideas. He's holding on to the past too tightly and he needs to release the past. But again, coming up in the good stuff, it kind of says you are releasing the past. With the Temperance card, you have the Six of Swords. Patience. It's literally, I said this with the King of Swords, that, I would take the next 6 weeks to be patient, to collect information, to gather the details, to really think about what you want, to pay attention to your environment, and then boom, there you go. I really feel like King of Swords, just your energy in this reading, it's just saying that you are being in the energy of discernment and kind of processing information. With the Ace of Pentacles, I think enthusiasm, happiness, and joy is going to be your guide at this time for your adventure or for exploration. So the Page of Wands says, do things that make you happy. With the Four of Pentacles, you have the Five of Swords. Yeah, I think you're going to take the risk. Five of Swords in the area of the good stuff would represent taking a risk, and I think you're taking the risk to leave a comfort zone with that Four of Pentacles, which again is probably going to be a good thing for you. You have this friendship card. Yeah, I think friends, the people around you are going to be very important at this time. A lot of support for earth signs right now, so use it, right? You have this negotiation card. That's the other thing. If I love that book, The Subtle Art of Not Giving an F, but it's actually the F word. And in that book, Mark Manson, the guy who wrote it, he has a rule. If it's not a hell yes, it's a hell no. But he uses the F word, right? And I love that rule. And, even my parents, when I was younger, they used to say to me all the time that, if you can't make a decision on something, then the answer is no. And, that's kind of how I feel about this. It's like maybe you're kind of like going back and forth between two ideas or two things. And it's like if you can't make a decision, then it's both are probably wrong. And I feel that's what this is talking about. You have this caution card. I don't really, again, this is not a warning reading, but I do think there is a warning here that is saying, if you see warning signs, pay attention to it. You can avoid it. I got COVID on that trip as well. So many weird things happened, right? So it's like if you see a warning, and the universe clearly tried to stop it 10 times before I left. So, again, I feel for a lot of you that, there could be warning signs for you. You have this adaptability card. Yeah, flexibility is going to be your best friend, Taurus. It's like, yeah, I understand you're a bull, you're a cow. It's not really easy for a cow to do splits or anything, but what I would say is being flexible, being open to other ways of doing things is going to be very helpful for you. And finally, you have this endurance card. Yes, I think your hard work is starting to pay off, and I also feel like all the things that you've been doing in your life are adding up to a big opportunity with three aces, or your next step in your adventure with this energy. But again, this is a month to remember for sure. So thank you for being here, and definitely enjoy your month.